Deadly accidents, floods, tornadoes, and landslides, all of this happened just in the last few days. Today we're going to tell you about some of the most terrifying incidents that have rocked the world. Let's start with the tragedy that took the lives of tourists and left families in tears. Pakistan, Lake Shahiba. A tourist outing ended in tragedy. A boat carrying families with children suddenly capsized. As a result, 9 people died. 4 bodies were found in the first hours after the wreck. The rest are missing. According to rescuers, the hope of finding survivors is rapidly melting away. The water temperature is low and the current is strong. The causes of the accident are still being investigated, but it is already known. The ship was overloaded. Meanwhile, Pakistan's northwest is suffering from another calamity, massive flooding. At least 18 people have been killed by the walls of water that hit the provinces after relentless downpours. Dozens are missing. Roads, bridges, and power lines have been destroyed. Villages are cut off from the outside world, and water levels continue to rise. The latest update from the Swat region is even more shocking. A new update reports the powerful Swat River, which has overflowed its banks, has literally washed away entire sections of infrastructure in its path. 8 people died, more than 50 were rescued. However, more than 20 are still missing. Let's go to China. Guizhou Province, Rongjiang County. Here a few days ago, there was a rapid and devastating flooding. In a matter of hours, the water flooded dozens of villages. According to official data, 6 people died, more than 80,000 residents were evacuated. Some villages went completely underwater. People lost everything: homes, property, hope. Many saved themselves by grabbing children in their arms and fleeing to the mountains, leaving everything behind. Chinese authorities recognize the situation as an emergency. Troops have been dispatched to the region and temporary accommodation camps have been set up. And this is not the end. Forecasters are predicting more downpours. Southeast Asia, Thailand, Chiang Rai Province. Sudden floods destroyed everything in their path. In a short time, more than 4,000 houses were flooded, roads, medical centers, and farms were damaged. The water came so quickly that many families didn't even have time to take their documents with them. More than 500 districts of rice fields went underwater. Phaya Mengri, Vientiane, Chengshan, and Toheng districts were particularly affected. Local authorities have urged residents to be vigilant and have put response services on full alert. The situation remains extremely grave. 5 countries, 5 regions, thousands of people facing the elements. But the horrifying disasters don't end there. The next block is an attack of nature that comes suddenly, without warning, and leaves fear and panic in its wake. United States, Utah. A scary moment, and it's on video. At the Lower Calf Creek waterfall, several people were resting at the foot of the cliff when huge boulders began to come down from the top. One of them fell a few meters away from the 2 swimmers. It was only by a miracle that no one was killed. The next disaster is India. A sudden landslide took a group of hikers up a mountain trail by surprise. The ground literally crawled down. The travelers scattered, taking cover from falling rocks and mud flows. It all happened within seconds. Some people were injured and evacuated to nearby clinics. Local authorities imposed a temporary ban on visiting the route. And now, back in the United States. North Dakota. A tornado ripped through the county, leaving a swath of destruction in its wake. Homes damaged, trees uprooted, power lines down. Hundreds of residents are without power. Fortunately, human casualties were avoided, but the damage is enormous. You already realize how fragile our security is in the face of nature. Support our channel, subscribe to not miss the most important and relevant news from around the world. France, Normandy region. The city of Bernay has become the scene of a real ice bombardment. Huge chunks of ice fell on cars, roofs, and pedestrians. The downpour with hail lasted only minutes, but left behind a picture of complete chaos. Moving on to Austria, the municipality of Fugen-Tyrol. The locals had not yet had time to recover from the heavy rains when a hailstorm hit. The brisk winds combined with icy precipitation damaged cars, felled trees, and disrupted the electricity supply. Several streets were littered with debris. This was an unexpected and extremely aggressive manifestation of a weather anomaly for this time of year. Southern France is another epicenter of devastation. Several departments, including Gers, Lands, Tarn, and the Hautes-Pyrénées, were at the epicenter of a powerful storm. The squally winds reached speeds of over 100 kilometers per hour, and hail hit with such force that it broke tiles and knocked thistles off the roofs of houses. Outbuildings were destroyed and infrastructure was damaged. Some neighborhoods have been temporarily de-energized, and restoration work is ongoing. Weather anomalies are increasingly out of seasonal norms. Europe is experiencing what used to be considered a rare natural event, and it's not just meteorologists who are worried. Mexico, the city of Chilpancingo, Guerrero State. Here, the most powerful downpour caused rapid flooding. The water went literally wall. In a matter of minutes, flooded streets, stores, houses. Local residents were forced to abandon their cars and swim for their lives. Schools and public institutions were closed. The authorities evacuated part of the population from low-lying areas. Because of the speed of the flooding, dozens of families suffered. The water took away everything: furniture, belongings, hope for a quiet night. Meanwhile, another Mexican city, Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua State, was hit by an unexpected storm. Strong winds and rain hit the region without warning. Wind gusts ripped trees from their roots, knocked down billboards and damaged power lines. The storm raged for less than an hour, but it was enough to paralyze traffic in the city, damage cars, and leave several neighborhoods without power. Such storms are extremely rare in this region. Residents are frightened. But in the very south of the planet, in Argentina, nature has brought a completely different surprise. In Ushuaia, the southernmost city of the country, there was a powerful snowfall. Despite the fact that winter in the southern hemisphere is a common thing, the scale of this snowfall surprised even forecasters. The city was literally covered in snow overnight. Roads were blocked, flights were canceled, and hundreds of residents were snowbound. Turkey, Bursa province, Hizmeti Mahallesi settlement. A forest fire broke out here, which spread rapidly towards residential buildings due to strong winds. The flames came close to the buildings, and residents evacuated in an emergency. Rescuers fought the fire in extreme conditions. High temperatures, dense smoke, and strong wind gusts interfered with extinguishing. Fortunately, no one was killed, but the damage is already estimated in the millions. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined, but eyewitnesses are talking about possible carelessness with fire at the picnic area. Turkish authorities warn, this year's fire season started earlier and more aggressively than usual. Another fire incident occurred in Slovakia. On the summit of Aldea de Boleshov, on the day of the festival, a balloon caught fire. Panic gripped the spectators and they rushed away in a panic, fearing an explosion. The fire was extinguished and there were no injuries. Every day we see nature acting swiftly and mercilessly. But sometimes the danger comes not from the depths of the earth and not from the heavens. It appears in an ordinary working day at the crossroads, at a moment when no one expects trouble. Subscribe to our channel to not miss the most important things.